I've got something that you're going to absolutely have to have, maybe.
Okay.
Look at that wheel on the ground.
Oh, Mira.
Correct. And it's never been,
Never
flip
been
it up.
on.
It's never been on the car.
When you think of the American dream, Jeeps and classic cars, there's one man that should instantly pop into your head. That man is Dennis Collins. Dennis Collins, as seen on Fast and Loud on Discovery Channel with his best friend Richard Rawlings of 20 years, is a lifetime entrepreneur from Texas that's knowledge of vintage cars and Jeeps from all walks of life expands far beyond that of anyone you've ever met. Now, Dennis's status as a businessman and entrepreneur isn't exactly a threat to American billionaires, but the story of how this car enthusiast achieved this enviable status is worthy of emulation by other billionaires. So, let's hop into what really happened to Dennis Collins, shall we?
The two most common questions on here, number one is about my hair. I actually don't use any hair products. And no, I didn't steal it from Justin Bieber, he stole it from me.
It's obvious that fans got to know Dennis due to Fast and Loud, a show hosted by his close friend Richard Rawlings, head of Gas Monkey Garage. The two best friends have hit it off ever since they met at a Harley-Davidson rally. In fact, they're such good pals, they even broke a major record together that involves a Ferrari. If there's one thing car enthusiast owe Collins, it's that he's been so transparent in showing off his prize collection. For the past 33 years, Dennis Collins has been the owner of the Collins Brothers Jeep in Wiley, Texas. Now, Collins Brothers Jeep is hardly your average car dealership. Out of this shop just 30 minutes north of Dallas, these guys have earned the status of being the most active and well-acclaimed restoration shop in the country, arguably the world. With over 70 full Jeep CJ, YJ, TJ, and Grand Wagoneer show quality restorations and 200 custom JK builds a year, these guys really know what they're doing. Starting from the Jeep organization, repairs, added features, and finishing, they have it all. As if all this wasn't enough, in 2000, Dennis Collins launched his very own Jeep-specific manufacturing arm, Black Mountain Jeep Parts and Accessories. Black Mountain Jeep has seemingly turned into a globally recognized Jeep staple, with Jeep conversion facilities in over 15 states in the US and a growing number of distributors and partners in Europe and the Middle East. As the Jeep man himself would say, "People always ask me what I really do every day. Well, step into my Jeep world and I'll show you." But this Jeep world of his is only the beginning, where the life of Dennis Collins really gets interesting when you delve into his passion for classic cars. Deep in the back of Dennis's dealership in Wiley is where his Holy Grail barn finds collector cars journey through their transformations into first-class show-quality automobiles. Dennis's titles as a car enthusiast and automobile historian started to fuel at the young age of 13, when he bought and sold his first car, a 1948 F1 Ford truck. Since that truck in 1978, Dennis has found, bought, restored, traded, collected, and sold some of the rarest and most sought-after cars in the world. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Just like one of the best investors of all time, Warren Buffett, popularly called the Oracle of Omaha, would say, only invest in what you know how to do best. Dennis sure knows his opinions when it comes to cars, and there's no better investment than investing in rarity. Remember, one of the things that made NFTs a sought-after investment is because of rarity. Well, I see Dennis and other car investors on the list of top billionaires soon if they keep their heads high without digressing. Enough talking about Dennis's investment. Let's talk about the show Fast and Loud. As mentioned earlier, Dennis and Richard Rawlings kicked off their journey of fame on the show, but they both have been in the game since, like, forever. In 2002, Richard Rawlings launched the Gas Monkey Garage in Dallas, where he began customizing regular and hot rod cars for worldwide customers, creating one-of-a-kind rides for car enthusiasts willing to dish out a large sum for a unique vehicle. After a decade of constantly pushing the limits of how modified a car can actually become, Discovery Channel recognized the potential of his business and offered him a contract. Meanwhile, Dennis Collins was already a big-time colleague and best friend of Richard Rawlings at the time, so he also joined the show. They were known as the legendary duo who bid high amounts on projects. Richard Rawlings was all about business and beer, while Dennis was more of a practical work and coffee guy. Together, they created some of the most iconic rides ever seen on Discovery Channel, turning out pile after pile of luxurious metal on wheels. The show kept going strongly from 2012 to 2020, with over 155 episodes and various specials. However, after more than 8 years of airing and dishing out content, Fast and Loud ended in 2020. During an interview in 2020 with Joe Rogan, Richard was asked about his possible return to TV. He said that, "The show is no more. I've exited Discovery, and I'm a free agent. We're going to be doing some cool things in 2021, and it just was a perfect storm, so to speak. It was time for me to expand, grow a little bit, and I'd kind of gotten to the top of that mountain, being Discovery, and there wasn't anything else for me to do there, so..." Besides the restoration shop itself, Richard expanded the Gas Monkey brand to other branches, such as the Gas Monkey Bar and Grill in Northwest Dallas, as well as another in Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, opened in 2013 and 2014, respectively. A third such bar is planned to open near the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Additionally, Richard created the Gas Monkey Live musical venue in October 2014, which closed down in May 2020. He also started up a restaurant called Richard Rawlings Garage in Parker Heights, Texas in 2016, but it closed in March 2019, but in the same year, he started producing Gas Monkey energy drinks. Lastly, on the 12th of May 2015, he even published his autobiography entitled Fast and Loud, Blood, Sweat, Beers. As for Dennis, the reason for his exit must be due to the host's decision, which is Richard, of course. Amidst all these, there are other speculations that he could have continued the show after Richard left. Dennis is a car guy, unlike Richard, who's more business-driven. While on the show, Dennis and Richard have both hit milestones together before the sad event of his son, Derek Andrew Collins, who passed away aged 29. Derek, who like his father had a strong bond with cars, acted as the manager at Action Co., Horse and Rider, then Colin Bros Jeep. In fact, he ought to feature on Fast and Loud alongside his father, but reports have it that he wasn't fully into cars then until after the show ended. Ever since he lost his son, Collins has no option but to remain strong rather than lose everything he and his son has worked for. Although he has derailed from his friend's line of work, at least on television. Dennis is now fully a YouTuber with over 450,000 subscribers and more than 80 million views, on which he frequently posts purchases and restoration videos. The vehicles featured on his channel are usually rare and expensive, and while sometimes he definitely pays a high price for a set of wheels, the money he earns post-restoration more than makes up for the cost. He also has his own website, on which he elaborates on his 3 brands and life mission, providing a detailed description of his life before fame. In one of his episodes, he revealed how he used to drive a blue 1966 Ford Mustang to school, displaying a very early passion for muscle cars, as well as the ability to own them. This passion continued well into the remainder of his life, to the point where his brands are some of the most famous around the US. His Wanted Dead or Alive ad campaign calls for all car owners across the world to sell him their vehicle and has been running for close to 40 years. He's willing to buy any car in any condition at a fair price, providing the whole world with a simple sell your car button on the website. In one of his videos that records the most likes and views, Collins took his viewers through his collection of 28 classic Jeep CJs that he's putting up for sale. Usually he posts videos showing how he acquires vehicles, but not what happens afterward. This time, this was the other way around. Viewers even got to see a 1986 CJ7 in mint condition. According to Collins, this collection of Jeep CJ5s, CJ7s, and CJ8s is estimated to be worth about $1 million. It's heartwarming to see how Collins responded to his son's death. It will always remain a sad event for him, but picking himself up and going like nothing happened shows he is indeed a strong man. We sincerely hope to see Collins back on television like in the good old days with his best friend, Richard Rawlings. Don't you wish?